All right. Well, great evening to each and every one of you. Lakeisha McKnight is here. I want to welcome you to the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. Excited to be here right here in Norfolk, Virginia, right here in the United States of America. I'm better known as North America. So welcome to the podcast. Before I dive in and give background information and get into the content tonight, let me go ahead and share on social media and let everyone know that we are indeed live. Again, welcome to each and every one of you. Those of you outside of the United States, you might be in Croatia, you might be in Pakistan, in the United Kingdom, you could be in Africa somewhere, or Australia, Romania, it doesn't even matter. We welcome you. Thank you so much for being connected to the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. So once again, I am going to go ahead and share on my personal timeline first and foremost. I'm going to type in join me now as I am live on the Women of Elevation. Here we go. Podcast. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this first and foremost on my timeline. Okay. So sharing it there, but then I'm also going to go ahead and share in the community group that we have that's connected to this podcast. So let me go ahead and share in the community group. And then I have a fan page that I am going to share to. Okay. So I will share to a fan page in just a second. Here we go. All right, here we go. And now on to the fan page. So let's go ahead and share there. Here we are. Okay. All right, so there we have it. Okay, so we shared in some other relevant places, and if you're listening in, welcome. We're actually utilizing the Spreaker platform. This is going to allow you to be able to give me the little heart. Click on the little heart if you can hear me okay, or if you enjoy anything that you hear during this podcast, go ahead and drop that heart. And then also on this platform, there's a chat feature, so you can actually give a comment, you can ask a question, and we can interact while we're here live on the podcast. Now remember, the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast is here live every Tuesday and Wednesday, normally at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes it's a little bit after that, depending on what we have going on, if there's any conflict in schedule. And I just had a little bit of a meeting that I left and I wanted to Zoom on here. So it's about 8:22 p.m. at this particular moment that we're going live. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, this podcast is a media outlet for a nonprofit based in Chesapeake, Virginia, entitled Women of Elevation Career Services International. All right. And the whole objective, the mission of the podcast, as well as the nonprofit, is to empower women like yourselves with the tools to be able to create, relate, and elevate. Okay. Creating, relating, and elevating. So are you ready? Because during the last 4 months of the year, we focus on helping you as a woman to elevate into the career and the lifestyle that you've always just dreamed of having. And it's yours for the taking. Okay, I do want to let you know that it's yours for the taking, but there are certain things that you need to do in order to manifest that thing. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want to encourage you, even after we're finished on this episode, I want to always encourage you to check out the website. We have some updating to do on the site. We do realize that. But the website address is www.womenofelevation.com. And there will be information about the podcast there. All right. So just a little bit of information I want to share with you. What we may begin to do is allow just information about the podcast to kind of stand out a little bit more, since this is something that we do actively every single week. So just note that that's going to be an update as we're transitioning into the new year. There's going to be an update there onto the website. Okay. Wonderful. So as we're helping you to prepare for elevation, we do have an action plan because we're focusing on how women can really move forward and elevate into that dream career or maybe lifestyle that you want to have, you have to learn how to take action. So whatever goals you have, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, there are certain things that you must do. And we have a little bit of a blueprint we're going to share with you on this week. So we're going to give you about 3 of those steps tonight, and then the rest we're going to give on tomorrow night. So be sure to follow along. If you want to take out a notepad and pen, it's really up to you. But we're giving you the nuts and the bolts, the blueprint at this particular time. So the first thing that you really want to do in order to really take action, be a woman who executes, who takes action, is this. You need to decide on what your goals are. There's nothing worse than moving and not knowing where you're going. You're just like a ship without a sail. You're just out at sea and not having any direction, not knowing where you want to land or where you want to end up. What is your final destination? So you really need to understand and decide on your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish? And remember, though, they really do have to be realistic. So if you know that you're at a certain place, for example, let's use income, because that's common with many people. If you're at a certain point where maybe you haven't reached 6 figures yet, but you're trying to be a millionaire, you might want to try the 6-figure mark first as a goal, and then from there, shoot to a higher goal. Because you want your goals to be realistic so you have a higher chance of accomplishing it. So you want to decide on your goals. That's number 1. Number 2, write them down. A goal or a dream, if it's not written down, it's just a wish. I know that you may have heard that somewhere else before, but it's true. Okay, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel with that. Write your goals down. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Even if you're like, man, I just want to lose 10 pounds. Write that down. It's a goal and it's measurable because you said 10, right? So write the goal down. That's exactly what you want to do. Write it down. Boom, you're good, right? Write it down. Write it down. I know. Did I say write it down? Write it down in a journal, in a notebook. Please don't use a sticky pad. Okay, they're warning against the sticky pads because it's like the death of your goal. Why do we say this? Because you can easily lose a sticky pad. The stickiness on the pad can just be gone. Poof, be gone. And then you just got paper and little squares just rolling around, different color squares, right? And then you're trying to figure out how does this go with what? So you want to definitely put it in something that's attached to other papers so that you don't lose it. That's just a little bit of a warning, right? Warning, no stickies. All right. And the third one that I want to share with you tonight, in order to really take action, okay, be a woman of action, you want to tell someone. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They're like, man, I got to keep it to myself. I don't want to share my goals. I don't want anyone to steal my ideas. Listen, I totally get it. But I also believe that there's nothing new under the sun. There are many things created in the world before we even came that was probably just renamed, right? Or just an older version, and we're just making it new and fresh, and we're adding a little spin to it. Okay. So tell someone, a trusted coach, a mentor, a spiritual leader, a husband, if you're a woman listening, or a wife, if you're a man listening to this, tell someone that you can trust who can really give you guidance or hold you accountable for achieving it or staying on course. All right. So what do we say tonight? Decide on your goals, number 1, write them down, number 2, and then also tell someone, number 3. Now we are going to finish with the 4 leftover pieces to the puzzle for your action plan here. We're going to continue this tomorrow night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I don't want you to go anywhere. Don't go too far. Make sure you set your notification or your alarm so that you'll be here at 8:00 tomorrow night. But I thank you so very much for being connected to the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. And remember, this podcast is actually under the umbrella of the Leadership TKO Internet Radio Station. That's the umbrella that is now under. It's in a good place, okay? Good place where it's reaching more people. So we appreciate you for listening in. Be sure to share this with a sister, a friend, a BFF, a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, some other woman whom you want to see grow. So thank you so very much. I appreciate your listenership, and we'll be here tomorrow night here with the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast.